Hey guys, Scott here with the MXQ project, and in today's video we are going to be looking at and reviewing the Techstick mini Android portable projector. So you may be wondering what this thing's about. Well, it's exactly what it says on the tin. It is a portable Android smart projector. It's running Android 7.1 and it comes with a few basic apps on there as well, but nothing too special. It's also portable. It has a non-removable lithium-ion battery which can be charged up, and you're going to get 3 hours usage out of that on full brightness. Lower the brightness a bit and you get around 2 hours battery use, which is great. Now, one thing that I'm going to mention is the marketing for this projector. It claims to be a HD projector, but as you're no doubt aware at this point, usually that's not the case. Now, they've plastered HD and 1080p all over the marketing for this thing, but in reality your native resolution on this projector is only 854 by 480. Now, it can accept an input of up to 1080p via HDMI, but your outputted resolution when you're projecting an actual screen, it's going to be 854 by 480, but we'll have a look at the quality of that a little bit later on. But let's have a look now at what we get inside the box. So this is the Techstick projector itself. Overall it feels very well made actually. It's nice and lightweight. It feels like it's been put together very well, which is nice to see. Kind of comes with this protective film on the top. I'll leave that on just now just to protect the top of the device. But let's have a look around all the inputs and outputs and the ins and outs of this device. So on the front here we've got some ventilation. We've also got the lens on here. If we flip it round, we've got the focus wheel. Ironically, not sure if that's in focus on the camera, but that's the focus wheel there. This side there's nothing there. And underneath we have a tripod mount, so you're going to have to use this with a tripod or indeed on a shelf or something. It does come with a tripod, which I'll show you shortly, but I'm going to be using my camera tripod. So on the back here we have the inputs and outputs. We have a power switch here, a HDMI input. It can input a 1080p signal, 3.5mm audio jack, DC jack for charging that battery or keeping it powered, the USB port, a TF card reader and a reset button. And that is pretty much it for the device itself. Like I say, overall it feels very well made, very nice to hold, nice and lightweight. But we're going to take a look at the other stuff that comes in the box now, such as the remote and tripod and things, so stick around. So here's the remote control. It kind of comes in this little package, so we'll just grab that out of there for now. And it's actually quite a nice little remote to hold as well. Again, it feels well made, so it's like a lot of thought's been put into this device. But it's got your standard buttons on here, your, up, down, left, right, directional pad and an OK button. All the standard stuff you'd see on a normal sort of remote for a Chinese Android device. We have volume control on there as well. Home button, menu button, back button. There's also keystone buttons on here as well for manual keystone adjusting. Now, the keystone on this device is in fact automatic. It uses a gyroscope, but you can set it manually as well, so it's good to know you have a few options. But let's move on now. So next up is the tripod that the projector comes with. Now, unfortunately, unlike the rest of the projector so far, this isn't as well made. Now, it's nice that they've included a tripod, so we have more options for positioning this thing, but overall it's quite flimsy. You can tighten the thing up, but it just kind of comes loose again. The legs also extend, but again, very, very loose actually. And I've tried it on this tripod and it is a bit flimsy and hard to position correctly, especially with those little bits coming loose. And the projector can wobble and move and sometimes fall down on this thing, so maybe use a slightly better projector like a Gorilla Pod or something, or better yet, a camera tripod. You can pick those up quite cheap on eBay, around $20 or so. So last but not least, we have the cabling that comes with the projector. This is the standard DC cable here. This is for plugging it into the wall, and it'll also charge your lithium-ion battery up as well. So we have that option there, so we can keep it powered from the wall as long as we want to use it, or we can use this to charge it up at home. We also get a USB cable as well just here. Now this is to charge it on the go. It's got that same power jack on the end, but you can plug this into a device such as a laptop or a computer or something when you're out and about, and you can charge up that battery as well and supply a bit of extra power to the device. It's good that they gave us two different options here. But that just about brings us to the end of the contents of the box. So we've seen the projector itself, the tripod, the remote, and the cables that come with it. Now what's left to do is to power this thing up and just have a look at the image quality overall and see if this is going to be worth your money. So one of the first things that I wanted to test when I received this projector was how it performed in a well-lit environment. Now this room here, it's the middle of the daytime, but I have got the curtains closed and it's working okay. It's still a bit of a strain to look at and it looks a bit washed out and faded. I did actually try this in a much brighter lit room. I had the curtains open, it was a very sunny day, and all I can say about that is that this projector is not built for daytime use, especially with bright sunlight. I couldn't even get the camera to pick anything up and it was a strain to kind of see any output from the projector. So yep, definitely not a projector built for daytime use. It's okay here, but like I say, it's a bit faded. with the curtains closed and a bit washed out. And one thing I'm going to mention now is that there's absolutely no way to change any image settings once you've got something playing on screen. I'm just using the YouTube app here. So once you've got an input plugged in, or you've got something running from within the Android operating system, you can't actually access any image settings without coming out of there, going back to Android and setting it within the Android settings. So I've switched to a darkened room just quickly now. It's completely dark, it's nighttime here now, all the lights are off, and the projector is performing a lot healthier. Now, it's very, very sharp, I have to say, for a projector of such a low native resolution. We've looked at a few projectors with a resolution of 854 by 480, and they're usually quite blurry, and it's quite difficult to watch if you're used to HD stuff. Now, the image quality on this projector is actually very, very sharp and more than comfortable to watch in a darkened environment. Just bear in mind again that if you've got an input plugged in, or you're viewing a video or something on YouTube within the Android operating system, you do need to back out to the Android settings to play around with your image quality settings and the brightness and things like that. So it is a bit annoying, but if you're not too fussed and you really just want something portable, cheap, and with a fairly decent image quality, then you're not going to go far wrong with this Techstick Pico Projector, especially as the Android system works very, very well actually, compared to some of the other Android projectors that we've reviewed in the past. And with that, I think I'm going to bring this review to a close just now, and I'm just going to give a kind of overview of what I think of the projector. So overall, I quite like this projector. Wasn't sold on it in the beginning, but after using it more and more, I'm quite impressed with the performance of it. So if you're wanting something that's quite cheap and portable, most importantly, then the Techstick Pico Projector is actually a pretty decent buy. The image quality is actually great for an 854 by 480 resolution projector, and the battery life is good as well. You can get 2 or 3 hours out of it on full brightness, which is enough to watch a full-length film. So yeah, overall, pretty good projector. If you're wanting something a bit more substantial and you can play and tweak with settings and things, then maybe don't go for the Techstick, because as I said, you do have to back out of everything and get back to the Android settings to adjust any of your picture settings and play with the brightness and things like that. Keystone worked very well actually. I didn't talk about that a bit earlier on, but it does work quite well. I've not had any issues, and I've never had to manually set anything. It all worked straight out of the box using that gyroscope, and I had it at various different angles, and it did a very, very good job of compensating and keeping the image nice and straight. So overall, if you want something cheap, you want something portable, and something you can just take around with you and use on the fly, then yeah, the Techstick is one of the better Pico projectors that we've reviewed. As well as that, the Android works very, very well. It's very, very basic, I will say that. You're not going to get too many bells and whistles with it, but it's nice to have, and it's nice that it actually works, because normally with these projectors, if they've got Android installed, we groan a little bit because they can be quite laggy and they're more of an afterthought than anything else. But the Android on this works surprisingly well. So overall, quite impressed with this Pico projector. Of course, there are better projectors out there with better resolutions, better picture quality, but if you want something just cheap and portable, then I would give the Techstick a definite thumbs up and would say give it a go for yourself. I'll leave the link in the description if you want to know more about it. But I hope you've enjoyed today's review, guys. If you did like it, don't forget to give the video a like. Also, subscribe to the channel because it really, really helps. And when you click subscribe, make sure you click that little bell icon to make sure that you're notified of when we upload new content. Also, we've got the Facebook group, link will be in the description. Come and see us on the website, mxqproject.com, and give us a follow over on Twitter at mxqproject. You'll see the tag in the lower thirds of the video. So I hope you've enjoyed this review, guys. My name is Scott, and you've been watching another video by the MXQ Project.